All right. Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry for the delay in getting everything started today. It was kind of a busy day and a little bit busier than I expected it to be. Everything's fine. We went out to eat lunch with extended family with Eric's cousin and his aunt to celebrate March birthdays because both Eric's cousin and my son have March birthdays. So we did that, and then we had a couple of errands we needed to do. One didn't pan out because I tried to go by my local stitching store to pick up my stuff for that I ordered for from the Nashville market earlier this month, and I got there just as she was turning the lights off. It was like, ugh. So now I get to wait a week because they're moving. Stitch New England is moving basically next door, so they're packing up the entire store and moving it over the next week. So I'm going to have to catch her after next weekend. It's like, I was like, oh, I never got to see this location because life's been so busy. So I'll just wait until the next one. Anyway, and then we had to go to the grocery store. So, because we have cats and we had no food for the cats. So I would not be able to do this stream if there was no food for the felines in this house because they would, probably be like gnawing at me by now. Anyway, how's everybody else? It's actually been a good week here. I, uh, Yesterday all day, I spent with a group of stitchers that I know and have become casual friends with through a couple of different retreats. And one of them proposed a few months ago, they're like, why don't we get together and just have a finishing day? So those projects that, you have in a box or whatever under your bed, grab them out and we'll get together and we'll set up tables. You can bring sewing machines if you need. We'll bring a cutting board, whatever you need, so that we can finish things. And then if there's something that you need like help with to finish, then you'll have people here who may have done that technique or just to bounce ideas off of. And it was great. And there were quite a few finishes, including I got a little one done. I'll show you in a sec. But it was a lot of fun. And it was great just to get together with folks again. And, it's beginning of spring. It's like to get outside and go for a nice drive and go through, the woodsy areas of New England and all that. It was really, really nice. So I finished, it's a teeny tiny piece, but this is by the Purple Stitch, and it's a little, it's going to fall out because I haven't secured it yet. But it is a little pin cushion, and it's inside a wheelbarrow, and that's how it was designed. That's how I got it as a kit. Isn't that cute? I'll take that. So it's cross-stitched with a little bit of over one stitching, and then some beads and buttons. The back is just a little piece of felt wool. And I spent a good amount of time yesterday hand stitching that seam. It took a while, but it is all hand stitched and nice little finish. It's been sitting. I've had the stitching on this thing done for like a year and change, and it was like perfect. I'll get this done. I brought a couple other things which I got a little bit of work on. The one thing I wanted to finish yesterday, which is my You Were Hatched ornament from Teresa Wensler. Of course, I can't find it. I don't know where it went. I looked everywhere. Like you could see every door in here is open. It's been that way since yesterday morning when I went rummaging through everything. And yeah, it's somewhere in here. It hasn't left this room, but it has decided that it is hiding. So I'll get to it eventually, but it's nice to have one project fully finished off my plate. And all I got to do is I'm going to glue this magnet that I have sticking here to the back of this so it holds it into the wheelbarrow. I could glue it, but I kind of want to be able to take it out at times just to show it off. But yeah, so I have a finish. And yes, the wheel works if you need the wheel to work. Super cute. I had thought about painting the wheelbarrow, but I decided no, it's going to stay just like that. So that is my finish. Today I am continuing to work on that as everything on my desk falls because I basically ran in home and got online. I'm continuing to work on Egyptian Sampler. Here is where I am so far on this. I am currently working an inner border here. There's a square that's going to be going here. There's a matching one that goes over here. So I'm setting up some borders right now. And the reason I'm only doing that is because my tub of floss for this project is also on walkabout. It's probably hanging around with the other Wensler somewhere in this room. But so I've been kind of pillaging from my other Teresa Wensler projects, since a lot of them share the same color palette, to be able to do this while I find it. It's in here. This room is just a wreck. So eventually I'll get to it. So let's see who all is in here today. Cherry Blossom's here. Yay, I'll be lurking while you stuff your face. Enjoy. What you having for dinner or supper at this point? Nicole is saying hello and says that's so cute. Thank you. I think so too. I don't do a lot of smalls. I am a big ass project person, but finishing those smalls is like so satisfying. I don't know. I should do more smalls. I really should. And Cherry's like, cute for real. It is. It's very cute. I saw, let me see, let me pop back because I had my YouTube page open here because there was chatting before I got on. Pitteresque said hello and said I'd be late because of the daylight savings time change, but turns out I was here an hour early. How long will we be running today? So my plan right now is to run a normal 3 hours. If people are like, oh, I got to go to bed or I got to go do other things, that's cool. But I'm planning on running 3 because I can always, if I need to jump away to grab dinner myself, I can do that during a sprint. That's not a big deal. So as of right now, I'm going to say that it will be 8:30 my time. I'm running about 2.5 hours behind where I normally would for sprints. So just basically add where I normally would stop in your time zone, add 3 hours to that, and we'll kind of call it about there. It's just one of those days. But yeah, so that's about when we're gonna wrap up. Let me skim back in here. We've got me going, yes, that be running the full 3 hours when I get back to my computer. I was literally sitting in the back of my husband's car on my phone texting that. Pitteresque says it's already past 10 p.m. here, so probably won't make the 3 hours, but looking forward to hanging out for a while. Love to have you for as long as you can. It is, come and go as you please. Mel, hi Melissa, remember to hydrate, feed thyself, check the laundry, take the meds, stretch, and show some love to the like button. Also, make sure you sub and ring that bell so you hopefully get notified. Thank you, my dear. Couldn't say that better myself. I am not doing my laundry. Currently, our roommate is doing his laundry. I will be doing the laundry tomorrow during my work hours. But yes. All right. So if you are new to this channel and if you are new to these types of sprints in general, just in case there's anybody new, the way this is going to work is I am going to set us up with 45-minute sprints. I will have a timer on the screen. There will not be music. It will be a quiet sprint. But then at the end of the 45 minutes, I will come back and, oh, okay. I was like, why is my stuff popping up? But it's popping in from the top. What will happen then is I'll come back, we'll chat for a few minutes, and then we'll go into another one. We will repeat that 3 times with like 5 minutes between, just so you can get up, stretch, grab a drink, whatever you need to do. We'll do that 3 times, and then at the very end, we will have a wrap-up sprint. I normally do 15 minutes. I'll kind of take a poll and see where people are. If you just need 5, we'll do 5 since we're running a little late tonight. But just so you can make your notes, count stitches if you're doing that, or whatever else you need to do. Totally come and go as you please. You are absolutely not obligated to be here the whole time. I know there's a bunch of different things going on Facebook, on YouTube tonight between people streaming. Pop and give everybody love as I can find people. I'll probably link them so we can give mutual support to everybody around doing things. I will be cross-stitching, and I label this as cross-stitching sprints, but whatever you're doing is cool. Reading, writing, cleaning your house. If you want to doom scroll, you can doom scroll. Whatever you're doing is totally cool. Liz just popped in. Hey, are you all done? No, I'm actually just starting because it's been a day. So we are just getting going. Liz, I haven't even done a single sprint yet. So you are just on time if you want to stitch. Let's see. Nicola's working on the haunted house again. Cool. Working on the pumpkins and plan to listen to Throne of Glass. I need to read that. Although at this point, I'm probably going to be tabling that till later this year because, well, last weekend, Eric and I went and talked with a real estate agent, and we are now fully in the committing to move. So a lot of my hard copy books are probably going to be put in boxes in the next 3 weeks so we can start getting stuff packed up that we don't need right away. And I'm going to be hanging out probably on my iPad doing a lot of digital reading over the next few months. So, but Throne of Glass, I've got that. I've got the hard copy set upstairs, and I really want to read that sometime later. Liz is working on A Patriotic Round by JBW. Nice. I will be doing Egyptian Sampler because I'm crazy and, you know, me and Wenslers. Since I don't know if you were here when I showed it, Liz. Leia, get out of there. One of my cats is making a mess, as she does. Get. Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, why don't I get us started since it's been a crazy weekend and I need to take a breath. Let me get I'm just going to switch us over here to the next sprint window. Okay. Tereska's working on Cloud Factory's Magical Creatures calendar today. Just started this week. Nice. Spent a couple of days working on the frames and now doing the Phoenix for March. Very cool. I saw that one. I can probably squish my to-do list. Come here. You can go down here. And we'll set up some sprints here. 45, 5-minute breaks, 3 times. Okay. All right. So I will get us started on this first one. And I will see you guys in about 45 minutes. So enjoy your stitching or whatever you're working on. All right. Hello, everybody. How'd that sprint go for you? Felt really fast. Really, really fast. But it went good for me. So I am right now, I am working this kind of dotted. This will eventually be solid, but I'm just working the one color at a time. So I'm going to get this square in. I just have this bottom row to do here. And then I'm going to repeat it on the other side here in the same color. And then I'll be filling in, if I can find the other color that goes in this blend, I will fill this in a little bit. The problem with what's going on here, you see all this yellow, and it's deceiving because this particular designer loves to blend floss colors. So all of this yellow is actually two different DMC floss colors with one strand of each mixed in, being stitched at the same time. So yeah, it's a bit more involved, but I need to, the other stuff that's in this, I need to find the flosses since my container for this specific piece has gone wandering in this room. That might be my project after I get offline tonight, is ripping this room apart a little bit more because it needs to be a disaster, and find where I'm at. So, and find where the thing is. If I need to rekit it, I need to rekit it, whatever. I've got tons of DMC, but I have an entire one of these containers with all of the floss for it. I just don't know where it went. All right, so let me go back and catch up where we are. Okay, so where is my, I need to see where all of my chat notes is. There's my chat. Okay, there we go. I'm like, I can see the stuff on YouTube, but I'm not seeing the stuff on Facebook that people have posted. All right, so going back a bit. So Susan came in. I said, hello, hello, hello. She is working on Postmodern Cat still, which is a super cute piece. And I said hello to her. And then my friend Cynthia popped in. Hello, hello. Good to see you as well, Cynthia. I haven't seen Cynthia in person in quite a while. Cynthia, are you going to Celebration this year in May? I don't know if I'm going to get there, in light of stuff that's going on at home here. So I may miss you if you're heading to Nashua this year. Let's see. Glenda came in and said hello, happy Sunday. And I said hello back to her. And I had missed up above that Ren had popped in to say hello, and she was popping in to say hi and boop the like button. So I don't know if Ren is still here. But thanks for stopping by. Yeah, right. Let's see. I asked Glenda what she was reading, and she is reading the Masala Chai Mystery Club by MG Soni. She's at 86% and has been enjoying this cozy mystery. Very nice. I've been trying to read a couple of library books, but I keep kind of getting distracted off it. So I may just turn them in. They're hard copy books. I may just turn them in and make a note of them and try it another day, because I'm just not getting there right now. But I am, during my commutes, I started listening to the 5th book in my my Cozy Mystery series by Lynn Cahoon. It's the Kitchen Witch Mysteries, and I'm on 5 Furry Familiars. Very cute, about a witch who loves to cook, and cooking is her thing. But of course, as with all cozy mysteries, people are dying everywhere and getting murdered. So they're always very odd on how it's like, oh, it's so violent in these small towns. But yeah. Oop, let me pause that. I need to remember to make longer break sessions here. Oh, now I have music playing. Stop. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I need to, in the next few weeks, I'm going to be boxing up all of my hard copy library. So I'm probably going to be digital for a while. And I don't know whether I'm looking forward to that or not. There may be a lot more audiobooks than I was planning on. So Pearl came in and said hello. And then asked if I had a good time with my family, which I did. We went out for a very nice lunch and celebrated the birthdays of my husband's cousin and my son, who both had birthdays earlier this month. So it was the March birthday celebration spectacular. So it was very nice. And then afterwards, we just got waylaid by different errands on the way back from up where we met them further up in Massachusetts. So about an hour from here. And so it just, coming home and you're like, oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do this. And just lost track of time, as you do. She said, I had a lazy day, had a late night at my son's piping competition, so I'm a little slow moving today. I feel that. If we hadn't had to get out of the house, that definitely would have been me today. Yesterday, I was out all day. I was over at a stitching gathering, and afterwards went and did a couple of errands before I came home. So it was one of those days where, because of where I live in New England, I was in 3 separate states within the course of like 30 minutes. Because I was right on the Rhode Island, Mass, Connecticut conglomeration there. But yeah, I was ready to just have a day where I was slacking off in like PJs and not doing anything. But nope, we had plans. Pearl, since you didn't see it, I had a finish yesterday at our gathering. It was a day specifically for finishing projects where we all got together, and if you needed help, people could either give you opinions or give you do some hand holding if you needed them to. So I have an itty bitty little wheelbarrow with a little pin cushion. I just need to attach the pin cushion. I have a magnet that I need to glue, but I forgot my glue yesterday. But yes, little itty bitty pin cushion on a wheelbarrow, and it spins. So this was a piece that I got up at Celebration, actually, which is a needlework show and shopping extravaganza in Nashua, New Hampshire, usually like the 3rd week of May. And this one was one of the little projects, the Make It Take It projects, actually during COVID. So it was the year that we had a remote celebration. And I've had this finished for, gosh, a couple of years, but I just didn't sit down and get it done. So yeah. All right, let me keep going here. Pearl is going to work on another strawberry purse. I'm a little obsessed with them. They are super cute. So for those of you who don't know Pearl, she does some gorgeous knitting, and she showed us on her stream on Tuesday. She was making these super cute little strawberry purses. Really, really cute. So if you need more inspiration and you knit, pop over to hers. I'll put links for people during this next sprint. And Pearl said that she got the Spirit City game today. Just got it set up, and my little human is sitting by the fire working away. It's a cute little game. So Spirit City Lo-Fi is what I'm using for all of our countdowns right now. And it's a game that's available from Steam on the web, and it's just easy to use. You don't have to use it for streaming. You can run it just on your computer when you're doing anything, and set your own times and your own, however long you want for sessions. Very, very handy. And there's music, and you can either be in your house or you can be riding a train. Maybe we'll ride a train during the next sprint just for the heck of it. And I guess there's a gardening one that's coming out either tomorrow or Tuesday. I want to save for another extension, so we'll probably be able to make flowers and do some gardening. Liz is saying hey. And let's see, I said that, yes, I'd had a great time. We went through this. I'll skip a little bit. Pearl said that she's great. I'm glad you had some time away to get together. Yes, me too. The funny thing is that they only live within like 45 minutes of us, but because of work schedules, we just don't see them that often. It's nuts. I can drive to their house within probably a half hour if there's no traffic, but it's just busy. Life keeps lifing. And Pearl, I'm just learning how to do everything. Got my little cottage decorated. Yeah, I've fine-tuned mine a little bit. I had mine looking much more D&D, and she looked much more elfy for a little while. She may show up with elf ears on occasion. Today, she's looking far more like me, just with blue hair, because I don't get to do that in real life. So I'm going to have all sorts of wacky hair in the game. And you look so good. Love your outfit. Thank you. Sometimes I dress up, although there's jeans on underneath. But yeah, and I've put my hair up since I got home because otherwise I'll be stitching my hair into my cross stitch. But thank you. Let's see. Kim, are there any sites for kits for baby record cross stitch? There are tons. It kind of depends on what you're looking for, like a style. Some of them are much more cutesy with like, more childish designs and pictures. I really recommend going to 123stitch.com because they pretty much carry everything. But honestly, any cross stitch shop is going to have at least some baby designs. If you're specifically looking for kits though, where that comes with all of the floss in there and the fabric and everything, go to 123stitch because they probably will have more of what you're looking for. If you're looking for more less like childish designs where it has teddy bears and dolls and whatever, you might not find kits per se for that, but you'll find patterns, and you'll be able to find that at any cross stitch shop. It really is. Just Google baby birth record or baby sampler, birth sampler. You'll get a ton of different recommendations on it. After this next sprint, I can show you the one I did for my son, which is not cutesy. It's not framed yet. But mine is by Rosewood Manor, and it's now I can't remember the name of it. What the heck is wrong with me? Anyway, I'll bring his out because I have the roll right over here, and I can take it out of the roll. But yes, there are plenty. Just Google either birth sampler, baby record, any of those. Probably birth sampler is going to get you the most. And then you'll be able to order from somewhere near you and find the design style that really appeals to you. And you'll be able to find that. Liz saying, hey, I was just saying hi to the other Facebook people. I know it looks weird on Facebook because you're only in the chat on Facebook. You're only seeing the people there. And the same thing is happening on YouTube, which is why on the stream, I have all of you guys combined so I can respond to all of you at once, and you'll just see the what everybody has on the side where they're coming from. Pearl's like, the wheelbarrow is so cute. Thank you. I don't do smalls that often, which is weird because they're like a satisfying little finish. And the funny thing is, I think it took longer to finish than it did to stitch it. It took me because I did everything by hand yesterday. It probably took me about 3.5 hours to do all of the little whip stitches to bind it together. Kim said she'll check back later. Thank you. Kim, I'll type some of this stuff in for you if you're not on right now, and hopefully you can find it in the chat. But yeah, I'll give you the recommendations of where to go, because a lot of it really depends on what type of a design you're looking for. But there's tons out there, and it also depends where you are. Because like I would be speaking from the States, but if you're not in the US and say you're in Canada or you're in Europe or down in Australia, depending on where you are, your access to different things may vary a little bit, especially with all of the craziness that's happening thanks to my country. Yeah. So I'll recommend what to use for a Google search in the stream. All right. Pearl, she'll show the finished one on her sprints on Tuesday. They will be in my March vlog too with the pattern, so stay tuned. Awesome. And I will add a link for you, dear, while I am in my in the next sprint. Pitterus said, we went to a gaming afternoon early night with friends earlier. It was fun, but I am so happy now to just hang out with people who are not physically here. I get it. I'm actually, it's funny, when I'm like yesterday in person with everyone, I'm the quiet one who's sitting there and stitching and just listening to everything. But then I get here on the live stream and I'm a lot, granted, it's only me chatting, but I'm a lot more comfortable here than I am in a room of people. I don't get it. This is like, it's awkward, but it's just kind of cozy at the same time. Yeah, I don't know. Very, very odd. But yes, totally get that. Pearl's like, thanks so much. Absolutely. And honestly, folks, anyone who wants to, oh, that's right. Because no one's a moderator, they can't add the links. Never mind. I was going to say, add any of your links that you want, but only I can because I'm the one running this show. But seriously, anyone who wants me to share a link, let me know. And I'm happy to share links because this is, you know, we all got to support each other here. And Pitteros, it's to have a child. Yes, it is. I don't know what I've stitched. Yeah. But yes, that's which one it is. And it's a large one, but yeah, there's so many patterns. It's one of those things where, and I'm sure knitting, it's the same thing. And apparently now needlepoint is having a resurgence, which kind of freaks me out because I'm like, that's pricey. But there's so many things out there, and it really is just what do you want to do? What do you like? In my problem is that I like everything. So I have too many projects. Yeah. too many projects. We do rise together. Absolutely. I mean, you know, without each other here, what's the live streaming? We're just talking into the void. So we got to support each other here. One thing I will note before we go to the next sprint, since we're just about there, is that, so as I've mentioned a few times, and you're going to hear me say this over and over, and I apologize. So we're moving. The goal is to be in a new house by the end of August when the next school year starts. So I got to pack all this up. I've been wanting to do a whip parade, a works in progress parade for a long time. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine that with packing, and make the packing, because packing is painful for me. This is going to be a painful move for me. I'm going to do the whip parade, and I'm literally going to pack during the parade. I may just do one of those days where I just have like a super long session of sprints and just go. And like, I'll do a part of a whip parade, and then we'll have a sprint while I pack those in a box. And then we'll do another round, and I'll do another section of whip parade, and then I'll pack everything in the box, and just kind of do it that way. I am going to plan that for probably the week of, I think it's the 20th of April, because that's school vacation week here, and I'm taking that week off. Let me just double check that. Yes, so I'll probably do it on the 20th, which is that Monday of April, so that I get some packing done and, you know, start getting this office kind of broken down a little bit. The only thing I'm going to leave out is the stuff I have for the WhipGo project. And that way I got more than plenty to work on for the rest of the year if everything stays in boxes. That'll have like, I'll have 25 projects. That's more than enough to work on in a year for me. But I will do the gigantic whip parade of anything that has stitches in it. And that could take a while. So stay tuned, 20th of April. It'll be recorded, so if you can't catch it live, it'll be here. But yeah, so that's the plan. And that will be a very long one. Gamify my packing. Yes. There will be, I can't tell you how many sprints are going to be used to pack. That Tuesday, Pearl, if you're streaming that Tuesday, that will probably be the gigantic unpacking up my books sprints, just to try to get as much done that week while I'm off as I possibly can. So, all right. Well, let me get us into our next sprint. Let me see here. All right, I'm going to talk for about 9 seconds as I get us over, because I ran it off by accident just a little bit. Let me get the screen sharing here. And maybe, am I crazy enough to do this? I might be crazy enough to do this. All right, I'm going to keep myself on screen this time, but I will be muted again. And happy sprinting, everybody. And I'll see you in about 45. All right, everybody. How'd you do on that sprint? Once I found my needle again, I did fine. Finished that one up, and I'm starting this side and moving this along. And next sprint, I might get most of that square done. So that'll be a nice little bit of progress for the night. Let me, since I mentioned it, get the old bag of, these are all my finished projects that I have that I need to get framed in here. I'm not going to show them all right now, but let me find Max's birth sampler since that came up in conversation. Come here. Come out of the pile. Okay. Roll you guys back in there. All right, and roll you up. Put you over here. Okay, so this is a piece called To Have a Child. It may be out of print now, but I'm sure you can still find it in places because Rosewood has a ton of charts out there. And I charted it in the colors. I stitched it in the colors that it's charted for. So it's like DMC, like the 930s, 920s, 930s. So yeah, by Rosewood Manor. And that is his birth sampler. I'm not worrying about having his birth date online because it's already been printed online. But yeah. So that is the whole thing. And then, of course, it has a couple of different... This heart was charted. And then I found the little baby feet there. But yeah, I finished this, I want to say, right after COVID, I think. I might have it framed by the time he's 18, you know. But yeah, it's I was happy to get that done. Now, have I done my wedding sampler? No. I might do that next year for our 20th anniversary. Maybe. Not sure yet. Alrighty, so let's see where we are. I posted a ton of sprints going on, pearls, journal party, which for those who don't know, my whole kind of coming out of my shell online last year really kicked off with journal party. I've been a writer since childhood. I've kept journals and stuff since childhood, but last year I really got back into it and really started doing some deep dive journaling. So journal party was the first one that really kicked off a lot of that and started a community for me. And then I found Artist Morning, which is on Friday mornings. They do meditation journaling, which really helped inspire me. And then I found all the great communities here on YouTube that, you know, are doing sprints and that kind of stuff. And it was like, oh, hey, you know, the eyes just kind of opened and the mind started going. So that was kind of my progression last year with all of this. So Journal Party is one that they meet on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. For a live journaling session, but then they have a website that has a whole ton of prompts if you like journaling, but great group of people. All right, and then some other folks that are sprinting this evening. I replied to Kim. If she's replied back, I'm just gonna put my recommendations again for her in case she sees it, because you know I love to have people know what they're doing, know where to go for things, and I'm always willing. I want to help people find what they want for stitching. So that is my recommendation. And then as far as websites, honestly, support your local embroidery shops, support your cross stitch shops. If you're a knitter, support your local shops if you can, because I do go to big box stores. I'm in Michael's all the time. I miss Joanne. I don't go to Hobby Lobby for other issues, but I want to support the local shops because that's where the really special stuff is and where the communities are. So whatever your craft is, if you can afford it and you can get there, support them. But I know not everyone can. I'll put that caveat in. So if not, go online because a lot of them are also online. All right. Glenda recommended Allie, so I added Allie. I'm not familiar with her, although I did subscribe to her, so she must have popped up on something that I saw. But I'll have to check her out because I haven't yet. I found my needle when I stepped on it, but it's now back in my project and my foot is fine. Pearl has a music channel for Sprint Music. Plot Twist Playlist is the name. Awesome. I usually listen to like stuff on Spotify and whatnot when I'm working during the day because it's a little bit easier to manipulate sometimes than YouTube, especially when I'm on my work laptop. I can put, Spotify on my cell phone so it's not tracing. But yeah, I'll have to check that out later. Pittoresque said that she was logging out to head to bed. She made it 10% on her project. Very happy about that. Yay! See you next week, hopefully. And I promise, yes, I'm going to be here. And I think I'm going to be on time next week. I'm going to make a point to be on time. I don't have anything going that I'm aware of. Pearl has a new music video uploaded and set to premiere on Wednesday. Awesome. I need to film a floss tube. I had planned to do one mid-month, and then this month just got away from me again. But I'll be doing that. And Pearl said to thank you for dropping links anytime, my dear. All righty. And I think that catches us up because I think a lot of people are starting to drift off since it is almost 8 o'clock. I am curious though, is 3 o'clock, should I do a later set of like so next week, obviously is the end of March. I have it scheduled for 3 p.m. Do you think I should start later on my sprints on Sunday and run them from like maybe 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. or should I stick to 3? My time's flexible, so I can do whatever. I would love to know what people think because I can definitely play around with it. Just, let me know your thoughts either here or email me, or if you're on Facebook with me, send me a message, whatever, about thoughts. Because while I will do some pop-ups here and there, like I did one this week and then didn't realize I had no sound going at all because I was playing with StreamYard on Thursdays. If you want to see me really weird, funny for like 3 hours with my head like this, you can see that because I was writing like the entire time. So all you see is like the part in my head. Yeah. All right. Liz is saying later would be good because the weather is getting better. Yard work and all. Yeah, I was wondering that myself. So next week I'll start it at 3 because I have it set there. But I'll put up a poll with folks next week because I have no problem going later. I have no problem starting at 5 like I did tonight. I know there's folks over in Europe that have popped on that might not be able to make it, but I can always do a couple here and there at other times too. And April's going to be kind of weird for me just with scheduling. So there may be some sporadic all over the map, but I'm wondering if later would be better just because, yeah, people are going to be out and about and doing things during the day and they might want to settle down as it's getting darker. Yeah, I'll think about that. And maybe I'll put a poll on my YouTube channel and see how that goes for a few days. All right, so let me get us going on our, oh, well, let me pause and put us, there we go, to the next 45. Stop. There we go. I need to make like a longer break for us because we just chat away. Pearl saying, yeah, with winter ending, people want to be outside, etc. while it's nice. So later sprints might be better for many. That's what I'm wondering too. And honestly, it might be for me too, because, you know, as we're getting this all going, we might be out cleaning stuff out while it's light out. So yeah, so next week I definitely will still do it at 3 just because I already have it booked. But as I book the stuff for April, which maybe I'll try 5 o'clocks for a while and see how that goes, and see if that just works better for everybody. Because like I said, I don't normally have too much on the books on Sundays, so I'm kind of flexible with the time. So yeah, maybe I'll try that for a bit. I also might get, not next weekend because I've already got an event on Saturdays, but I may try to do some Saturday sprints here or there as pop-ups later, but Sundays is going to be my set time. So, all right, well, let me get us on our final sprint. I'm not going to be on camera for this one because I might grab something to eat because it is getting to 8 o'clock and I'm getting a little hungry. So I'm going to get us going on 45. So happy sprinting, everybody, and I will see you back here in a little bit. Let me get this back up and rolling. All righty. Happy sprinting all. All right, everybody. Let me switch that. Okay. So how did that go for everybody? I got no stitching done. I ate dinner and then I accidentally started doom scrolling. So, yeah, it was one of those 5 minutes, but I'll get a little bit more done tonight, and that's okay. And do some book reading, and then I'm gonna get a little bit of as you saw on my countdown page, I have some other personal things I want to get done tonight before bedtime. So, yeah, let's see. It was kind of quiet on the chat this sprint. I think people are starting to take off. Pearl says she's heading upstairs to work on cleaning bedroom a bit. Ugh. Yeah, I can sympathize with that. Thanks for the sprints. Have a great evening. You too, my dear. Thank you for being here. And I think that's about it. I missed this last time, but Liz says that she finished the patriotic round working on bows now. Nice. So having a productive evening, which is always good. And both Liz and Pearl felt that, you know, doing stuff later would be a good idea. I know we kind of covered this last time. So I'm going to put a poll up on chats and see, on my page and see what people are thinking and how they feel if I should push it till 5 o'clock going forward, starting in April. I have no problem doing that if that's the case. It kind of makes sense in a way. We'll go from there. And maybe when that happens, maybe I'll shorten down this wrap up sprint to, instead of 15 minutes, maybe do it as a 10-minute sprint, because I don't know if anyone really needs all 10, all 15. But we'll kind of plan from there, because hey, it's always a work in progress, right? That's how it goes. Pearl also felt that with the winter ending, people want to be outside, etc. While it's nice, so later sprints might be better for many. She likes evening sprints too. And I'm thinking that might work for me too. So I'll give it a little more thought, but I will put a poll up. I have a feeling things are probably going to switch to going a little bit later, but that's okay, because hey, it'll be the summertime schedule. We can always go back to an earlier schedule once it gets dark again next November or whatnot, and then do the cozy winter sprint schedule. Everyone has seasonal schedules, right? All right. Well, since I think it's quiet and I think a lot of people have taken off for the night, let me put that off. Pearl, I'm going to do just the wrap up sprint. So it's just going to be a 15-minute. So you don't have to, but I appreciate it if you want. But yeah, I'm only going to do a 15-minute wrap up sprint, and then we'll head on out. So, that's about it. So I'm going to get that started, since it is going on. It's after 8:30 here now, because it's Eastern time. And I know that a lot of people are going to start taking off. So thank you again to everybody who were sprinting with me. I appreciate you being patient with me. Starting late tonight wasn't my intention, but you're awesome. And glad to chat with everybody. And let's wrap up and make your notes for next time. And we'll do a quick see you bye in about 15 minutes. All right. Alrighty, folks. Oh, I have that at 5 p.m. Let me hang on to that for a second. Let's fix that. It's going to be at 3. Okay. There we go. All right. So yes, next week we'll be back to normal time at 3 o'clock. April will be a to be determined. I need to get a good look at my schedule next month just to make sure before I block things. But I can say definitely there will be nothing going on Easter Sunday because let's face it, people are busy who are celebrating with family and whatnot. I'll be around, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to do a stream. And then it'll be a little bit blocky in April and May, but we'll get to that later. So thank you again, everyone. I hope you have a great night and a great week. Hope to see you around the internet at some point during the week. And take care, everybody. I'll see you next time. Bye.